What's happening, world? Happy Friday.
Hey,
welcome to another episode of Cognac Confessionals. I'm your host, Deshaun, here at Where Media Meets Studios in conjunction with VJ TV, Feral Films, History in the Making Entertainment, Keep It Cloudy Productions. You know what I'm saying? It's Friday. What's today? The 23rd? Yeah, December 23rd, 2022.
Was the night before the night before.
You know what I'm saying? Sagittarius season is over. We pass it on to the Capricorns. You know what I'm saying? What's happening in the world? Everybody chilling tonight. You know what I'm saying? It's a beautiful Friday.
This that season where Virgos are made. Yeah, all y'all that's Virgos, you was probably made around Christmas time.
Pre-Christmas booty call. You got her the Samsonite, or you got her some good Christmas presents, and yeah, she gave in.
If you're a Leo or a Virgo, you was a holiday. If you was a Leo, if you was a Leo, then it was Thanksgiving. If you was Christmas, if you was a Virgo, it was Christmas. But
holiday.
So booty. Celebrate your making.
Holiday booty call. But man, it's been it's been crazy as fuck as always. Interesting week. They had fucking few earthquakes.
Man, that shit was wild.
You know, I'm sorry. I apologize, y'all. I was trying out some new shit. You know what I'm saying? Freaky niggas, you know. Big niggas make the world go round. You know what I'm saying? Y'all, you know, that's what we do. You know what I'm saying? You know, there's a study that showed big dudes last longer than skinny dudes.
It's true. It's fact.
Yeah, you know.
It's fact. Yeah. Well, I think though, but I mean, there's a scientific reason though, right? Mm-hmm. Like a lot of skinny niggas, reason why they skinny is because they just all agitated like jackrabbits. Mm-hmm. But a big nigga, you already learned how to pace yourself and take your time. It's just a much better experience. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Get you a fluffy guy, man. Fluffy lives matter. You know what I'm saying? Bearded and bellies. That's what we do.
Yeah. For the 2022 and 23.
Yeah.
23 is shaping up to be a big year. A lot of things in place.
It's the last new moon of the year. And then the other week was the last full moon, which you release what doesn't serve you. You know what I'm saying? I released some things. You know what I'm saying? It's funny how the universe just correlates and make things happen for detachments and just releasing shit that serves no fucking purpose. You know?
Speaking of serving no purpose, you know, as you know, I had got a hold of that piece of land earlier this year. Right?
Yeah. Congrats on that.
You know what I'm saying? I got a hold to it. We closed February 1st.
Mm-hmm.
So now it's going to be, so I literally had the land all year.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason why I haven't been able to do anything with it is because I was determined that I was going to spend my money with a black contractor.
Right.
I was keep it there. Yeah, now, after literally dealing with 11 black contractors, 4 black architects, and 4 or 5 supposed to be engineers, and making absolutely no progress, I broke down and went ahead on and hired this white guy.
At least you tried.
But here's the thing. In fact, it was a brother who had been watching what I was going through and said, "Hey man, quit fucking around with them, man. You've been sitting on that shit damn near a year. Let me plug you in with a dude who gonna go on and handle business." I said, "Well, I'm trying to keep it." And so normally I be feeling bad or feeling like a sellout when there's an opportunity to spend money with black people, and I don't, because I always make a conscious effort.
Yeah.
But on this, I feel so badly. So I just want to give a shout out to any entrepreneurs that we got out there.
Come right with your business.
Handle your business. I don't even mind, because I know you don't have access to the same resources and everything like that. I'm cognizant of that, so I'll even pay more to deal with a black person.
Right.
Because and I don't expect no discount, no ever. Tell me what the price is.
Yeah.
You ain't got to, in fact, don't give me no discount, because I want to see you in business for the long term.
Yeah.
You know that cheap nigga over there? You're going to need to give him a discount, so I'll pay the full freight. So that way you can afford to give him a discount and you can stay in business.
Exactly.
But the thing is like, but let's do business. And so in this particular situation, since I've dealt with so many, this is one of the few times in my life that I'm spending money with a white dude and I don't feel some type of way.
I mean,
You know?
I can understand, and I can understand and appreciate the effort. Sometimes shit just don't
Fact,
work.
since I'm almost to 11 months in a couple weeks,
Yeah, that's
a week or so, I'm thinking I went above and beyond.
Yeah,
but let this be a
time is
lesson
money.
to any entrepreneurs that end up watching this and stuff like that. One, if a person is coming to you, if you're supposed to be a business person or a hustler, and someone's coming to you to spend money, do legit business.
Please do.
Do legit business, because this is the game that I've seen a lot of our black contractor brothers is playing. And now white people run this game too. See, if you go get a white contractor, he's gonna sub out all the work. He ain't gonna be out there doing it, this and that, right?
Yeah.
But he's still gonna be the guy,
boss,
and he's going to
oversee.
I ain't got to talk to this plumber. I ain't got to talk to this dude, this and that. So he's subbing up. But the way black dudes is doing it, where I'm finding the way black dudes is doing it, instead of just straight subbing out the work, what the black dudes do, if you say, oh, build this patio or whatever out here for $20,000, a white contractor is also finna sub the shit out. But anything that's happening, you can deal with him directly.
Right.
This is what a black contractor will do. A black contractor will tell you, oh, let me bring my business partner in. But it's not really his business partner. If you're willing to pay $20,000, what he gonna do is he gonna tell dude, I got this job for you for $15,000, and just pocket the rest. And now he bring dude in, and it's between you and dude. Yeah. But what I've been finding, what dude do is turn around and try to find somebody for $12,000, $10,000. So the dude that's actually doing the work on all these other dudes, and then here goes the thing: when these other dudes is half-ass doing the work or whatever, because they only getting, because as far as they're concerned, they ain't making no real money.
Yeah, so their effort ain't in it.
When you go to the original dude and be like, "Hey man, what's happening with you?" You like, "Oh, you gotta holler at blood." Like, well, wait a minute, I hired you.
Right. Yeah. You gotta.
Oh, you mean y'all not really business partners? Oh, okay, what you did was you just tried to middleman off of it. White contractors middleman too, but they will hold the responsibility. Like if you say, I don't like how this is going, he gonna either get another sub or he get on that sub helmet. So you be like, okay, you pimping this situation too, but you still responsible. Black dudes is bringing in, and I'm saying, oh, this is my business partner. But really, you just trying to get a piece of the deal, and then you do all the work, and I do nothing.
Right.
And so,
and that be that bullshit.
Exactly.
We fuck
because
up.
By the time the man who's actually out there swinging the hammer and doing all this, he's sitting there with an attitude with you because he's
ain't getting
shit. Exactly.
When you could have went to him directly if you would have knew.
Right. So really, to tell the truth, I had one dude who was doing on some shit, an OG dude. He said, "Man, I don't fuck with these niggas."
And they said, "Where's his glass at?"
And you know, I'm one of the type of dudes that when somebody gets to talk about, oh, I don't fuck with niggas or this and that, I don't like entertaining these conversations, right? Because I fuck with niggas, right? Even if it's not even to my detriment. But dude said, man, you own this property, you can work as your own contractor. Man, just go down to Walmart, hire a motherfucker, then go in front of Home Depot and hire some motherfuckers, man. I'm sitting there like, wow, I can't.
And it's not knocking nobody that's out there.
Yeah.
Because you probably got some great quality workers there.
Yeah.
But you want your shit done, especially because I'm paying for permits.
Here goes the why, but a lot of cats that's doing the actual work is sincere. But they just do the work. And they wait for somebody to give them jobs, this and that. The cats who out here that's a little sharper, that's hustling the work, they be full of shit. So, as a note to anybody, if you're a handyman or you're a contractor or this and that, it's brothers like me, it's brothers like yourself who own property.
Yeah.
Y'all can actually get paid a legitimate wage, but y'all got to really do it. Because I was in a position where whatever price you would have told me, I wouldn't even haggle with you. But you know, you don't fuck with me correctly. You know, I'm just saying, any person, handyman, contractor, entrepreneur, whatever it is you out here doing, be sincere. Look at your shit as a business, not just a hustle.
Right. It's a business.
You know what I'm
Everything is business. That's the thing about it. Nothing's a game. It's called the game, but it ain't a game, and everything is business.
Because at the end of the day, don't look at me as a Vic you can play. Look at me as a customer. Deliver me some shit. Because it's like this. I thought at this point, damn near a year in, I would have that shit already working.
And reaping the benefits of.
And copping.
Right.
Copping some other shit. So if you came to fuck with me, you would be continuously.
Right.
You know, we could be doing some things. Right. And so, man, I'm just so disappointed. I ain't gonna give up, because you know there's a lot of cats out here. Because you know there's cats that'll tell you. I remember back in the day, about 20 years ago, when we was gonna form us a real estate group. Invest in some property, right?
Yeah.
And we brought in this one older cat, because, you know,
he
had
had
these degrees, and, you know, we was respecting him, right?
Yeah.
And so we run the idea by him, and he just straight blatantly laughed at us and was like, "Oh man, you can't get a bunch of niggas together to do nothing. Or if it was real money in it, the white folks would have already did it." And I was sitting there like, go on with that bullshit. So I never encouraged that bullshit. I'm never on the white man's ice is colder bullshit. I'm never on that. But every now and then, in some situations, sometimes my brothers
we fuck
make
ourselves
me feel
up.
like cool. But you know, and it's a lot of cats out there, a lot of black entrepreneurs be like, man, niggas won't spend with me. Because a lot of us was raised by people who have the, oh man, can't no nigga. And then
what happens also is we fuck it up for ourselves. And we fuck it up for other people. Because it's just like I used to, not on the big as the scale you're talking about, but just like I get those requests from people who do make your pictures cartoons and shit and all that. And I'll be like, oh, okay. And the thing about me is I had one who, if I'm be honest, they fucked it up for everybody. So I don't give a fuck who you are. I'm sorry. And don't take it personal.
But if you open with that line, it's off with your head.
You did all these requests and one person said, and I was like, you know something? I'll fuck with one person. So I sent them, I think it was like 25.
Come on, Nate, let's make it happen.
Let's make the movie happen, Nate. So
Nate got a hell of a story. You need to come down and be a guest.
Look, so I sent the 35, whatever bucks it was to do the shit and whatever, and it was some bullshit. So nigga got boozled. And I'm like, $35, that ain't nothing. I spend more on that on a bottle. So I'm not tripping.
Right.
But it's like, okay, so it's over. I'm sorry, and there's probably some legit motherfuckers out there. Man, I can do it, and I'm not fucking with it. Hell, people fuck it up for everybody.
I just dropped 30 in the grocery store. Youngster in front of me lost the card his mama gave me. Yeah. He's standing there crying, and the lady saying, sorry. And I was like, hey, add that shit in with mine. And it ended up being like $31 or whatever.
But you know what I'm saying? You pay it forward. The best one is the giver. I
told him, youngster, calm down. He was a teenager. I said, calm down. You still gonna get your mama shit, because I'm gonna take care of that, and then just retrace your steps and find it, right?
Yeah, find your shit.
And then later on, I was at the Lucky's in Hayward. And later on, when I got to my car, I was sitting in my car, making a phone call. Youngster came and knocked on my window, and he said, hey man, I found the card. I can go in and buy you $31 worth of shit to replace that. And I said, this is what you do, youngster. You either tell your mama you found a guardian angel and you didn't have to spend that $31, or go in there and get $31 worth of shit that you wanted. But you ain't got to worry about me. And you're like, oh no, gee, we'll do it. And I said, check this out.
It's good.
There's going to be a day, one day, when you in line, or you somewhere, and somebody, and another brother, young brother is short.
Somebody.
Gonna take care of them, and then you pay me back.
Hey, right. You know what I'm saying? The blessed one is the giver, always. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, my boy Nate got a hell of a story, man. He was a 16-year-old, and basically got sentenced to life. Some of the juvenile shit, some of the fucked up laws of California. He ended up overcoming that shit. He got released. He worked with Danny Glover. He just that. In fact, I had a situation in Louisiana with my brother, and I was like, damn. I was able to call Nate And Nate was able to call a motherfucking Louisiana and give me the game on what to do. Nate cross country connected. Nate, come on down here and fuck with your boy,
Hey,
man.
we're gonna line it up for 2023, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Cause this we got one more show next week.
I see Big Bob watching. Big Bob is a business partner with Freeway Rick.
Yeah,
Him and Freeway Rick done got a whole 200 some acres down in Mississippi, and they finna build some production shit out there and start bringing us black filmmakers and stuff to come. Just like how Tyler got his production studio there. Yeah. They building a production studio on 200 some acres.
That's what's up.
Out in Mississippi, and we're gonna start getting filmmakers across the country to come back. Because a lot of us, all our families is originally either from Mississippi, Louisiana, Arkansas, Alabama. Every one of us, our grandmothers somewhere like that. So that's where our roots. That's where our roots is from.
Yeah.
And to bring the money back there and start uplifting the brothers out there and everything, because they doing brothers bad out there.
Find some of them hidden cities. You know that's a lake.
You know what I'm saying? But we ain't gonna do it like Dion did it. We're gonna go out there, we're gonna spend some money with the people, and we're gonna keep spending money with them.
Yeah, we're gonna stay there. We ain't gonna bounce out on motherfuckers.
I ain't gonna move to Mississippi, but I don't mind.
I don't mind buying some shit down there.
In fact, shout out to Rosenthal. You know, remember
Rosenthal? Yeah, that's my guy.
Rosenthal actually just put me up on. They got a 8-plex out there for $84,000.
See, I need to have to
in Jackson, Mississippi. Now they only paying $400-$500 a month in rent on each unit.
Yeah, that's fine.
But the overall note on the whole unit will be about $800, and you got about 8 units paying you $500 a month. So you're gonna have positive cash flow.
Exactly.
The thing is, what's confusing to me is everything that he been putting me up on in Mississippi. I've been looking at it, and what Big Bob be talking about in Mississippi, I'll be looking like, fuck, Mississippi is a gold mine, right? And then I'll be wondering to myself, why the niggas that's already in Mississippi ain't eating like crazy? Because can you imagine buying an 8-plex and you only got to put $3,000-$4,000 down? We done probably spent $3,000-$4,000 on cognac this year.
This year?
Yeah.
I didn't spend more than $3,000 on yak this year.
So just think.
Way more.
We can put that much down.
I done spent a lot of money on yak this year.
Yeah, because you be getting that top shelf shit. Yeah, but you can take the amount of money that you spend on yak and put down on some shit in Mississippi and be making $3,000-$4,000 a month. And I be wondering, well, damn, is there a catch? Because why these niggas in Mississippi ain't already eating?
Yeah. I didn't. Yeah.
But you know what? They got their foot on niggas' necks out there so tough. Yes. And already the mentality, because if you're born from somebody who don't know nothing about nothing, and you don't know nothing about nothing,
leaves nothing.
So they willing to pay the $400-$500 a month in rent, which is, can you imagine getting a 2-bedroom for $500 a month?
Oh my God.
You know what I'm saying?
They willing to do that. After me to like bring back $500 apartments. I was 18 with a 2-bedroom house and the rent was $450.
But just think, what if a cat in Mississippi?
This was in '93.
If a cat in Mississippi saved up his income tax return, he could be owning a whole block.
Yeah.
And I be wondering, because us with this Bay Area hustle, this Cali hustle, we be like, nigga, with just a few G's, I could own the whole block.
Yeah. I already got some. You already know. No details, just results.
And so I'm wondering. So I'm like, how's this even possible? Because why the niggas out there ain't already got it sold up? Yeah. And so I said, man, when you in it, sometimes you can't see it. So I'm like, okay, so you mean to tell me? Because I'm like, man, because Bobby and Freeway Rick went out there and snapped up hundreds of acres. Can you imagine? Hundreds of acres.
Yeah, that's some land.
Hell, you can hunt
and buy
fish.
Land. Fuck the buildings, you buy land.
On your own shit, and they like, okay, Freeway Rick gonna build some production studios, right? So I told the niggas, so I got on the phone with niggas, and I'm like, okay, if y'all build it, I'll start filming my movies out there.
Yeah.
So y'all got one client off the top.
Yeah, we coming out
just to support the movement. But don't be surprised if I come and don't get 2-3 acres right next to y'all and open up the concession stand.
Yeah.
Next door.
Shut up and eat.
You know what I'm saying? Man, they don't want that. Yeah. Cali, shut up and eat. We'll fuck around and make $1 million.
know what I'm saying?
Nate, I feel you. They don't want to work like that, but Nate, come on down, come on and fuck with us, man.
Let's chop it up.
Because here's the thing, man. In regards to making a movie about Nate, it's like this. It's so epic from where he started to where he is now that
That testimony.
I know that them people probably gonna throw some obstacles in our way because he's the type of story that can change lives.
Spark a brain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What Tupac say?
I
might not.
Yeah, I know. I
You
ain't
know what I'm
need to
saying?
change, but I might be the change that sparked the brain that creates the change. Exactly.
You know, we down here at the studio over here on you been down here before?
We in the town. We in Oakland, man. Town biz. You know,
They've been here before. You know the little studio we got off of
we ain't giving all of that because, you know, people be I was just watching.
I hit you with the address directly, but you've been down here before. You came out to the parking lot before, so you know what the spot at.
Yeah, we doing I've been watching Hip Hop Homicide and shit. Not saying that we them guys or nothing, but you know, people be sloppy and it's winter, it's cold, crazy season.
You know, went to the premiere for that Hip Hop Homicide. Whatchamacallit is the producer. P. Frank.
Yeah, shout out to P. Frank.
So he
Town
had
business, murder dubs all day, twomp.
He had Sean Granberry put together a premiere for him.
Yeah.
In fact, you were supposed to come through that night.
I had something. Yeah.
Yeah. So
I couldn't make it. I had too many obligations that
Monique was there. Danielle, Linnell, they had all came through. Kelda was there. And
I hate that.
Sherry, Nubia, Nubia, African Queen, she came through and this and that. And, so we chopped it up. Mr. Fab was there with the mechanics.
From the town, the murder dubs, twomp.
Yeah. So, Nate up in Harry Belafonte new movie.
That's what's up. So hey, you plug that shit.
Yeah.
But it's been, I mean, we like, next week we got end of the year shit.
Yeah.
But this year has been crazy. It's been crazy shit. And we ain't even went in on the current events yet. We're going to get in on that in a minute. But this year has been just like in every year.
Bring that footage. I can edit it, Nate. Don't even trip.
Yeah, bring it down. This year has been a lot. We didn't been.
It's been a crazy.
We done did a lot of shit. We done had a lot of guests. A lot of knowledge, a lot of information, a lot of networking.
Yeah.
You got a couple of new movies doing, and starting up another one.
Right.
You know,
in fact, Vampire in Oakland. A lot of people be asking me about that. Vampire in Oakland will be available on streaming in March. A lot of people been asking me about that.
Everybody that's part of that project.
Year delay.
Shout out to Mario.
We back on the grind now.
Shout out to everybody that was a part of that project. You know what I'm saying? That's the team. That's what we do. You got, you got a lot. I mean, next year, I want us to. It's a lot of shit I want us to do and get into for next year. And everybody that's got something going on, get at us. You know what I'm saying? If you want to be on the show, message us. You know, let's book some dates because you know we trying to bring everybody, give people exposure. That's what this platform is about. Of course we sit here and talk about whatever's going on and shit, and we trying to share stories of us to us, and we network because you never know who we know. You never know when we never know who you know. So you might introduce us to some people, and vice versa. You know what I'm saying? It's all about networking and really being a support system.
Hey, Miss Taz is watching.
Hello. Thank you for tuning in. Appreciate you.
Now, one thing about Miss Taz is any of y'all got events or anything like that, and Miss Taz don't play, but any of y'all got events or anything like that, she's excellent at coming through and capturing the behind the scenes and stuff like that. And unlike a lot of people that, it's the same one we did the drive-in movies. But one thing about
do drive-in that.
Sometimes cats come to your events, take the pictures, and it'll be a year before you see
You
the
get 'em?
pictures.
Yeah.
Miss Taz, you'll get the pictures next day. So if any of y'all having events, you're doing a movie, you're doing events, you're doing anything like that, you pop up somewhere like that, hire Miss Taz. She'll come through, get the behind the scenes, get the interviews, do everything that's supposed to be done, and most importantly, she'll deliver you your footage.
Yeah, that's what's up. Thanks, Slim. Appreciate you.
Because a lot of people will come do the work, but the follow through, the completion.
Right.
You
That's
know?
where, and just like you were saying with your,
Thanks, Slim.
yeah, appreciate you, Slim. It was you saying your story of going through the different contractors and
Yeah.
whatnot. We fuck
The
it up for
completion.
the follow through. Like you said, the follow through. We gotta follow through. We gotta be. Everything is business.
Yeah.
And don't get me wrong. And I'm even including myself, because there's people who we've talked to about getting on, and we get so busy. I done been like, oh shit, damn, this
I
person.
didn't hit them back.
I'm like, damn, and I went through messages like, hey, y'all, so anybody, once again, you know, I'm human, I ain't perfect. Charge it to just being busy in life, because this ain't the only thing I do. You know what I'm saying? I got a real job and other shit going on.
Right.
But we trying to be on point. But that follow through, that follow up is the shit.
It's very important.
You know, so like I said, anybody that's supposed to been on and
You already know, Miss Taz.
what's happening, we gonna make it happen. Ms. Taz, appreciate you. Definitely.
In fact, you should come on down and be a guest too.
It's an open
Tell us
door.
about what's going on with you. She's also heavily involved in the social clubs and that scene like that. We have the sisters from 32 Flavors come on. You know what I'm saying?
Shout
So
out to
she can
32
also come
Flavors.
shed some light on that, because a lot of people got a misconception of the social club scene that is just all just partying.
It's
But
work
so
and
many of the
effort go
social
behind
clubs
a lot of shit.
Do a lot of charity work, do
Yeah.
a lot in the community, a lot of give backs, and also it also provides a bond of sisterhood. Because one of the things about a lot of us as black men and black women is sometimes we could be out in this world, especially if we become adults, and sometimes we come out here in this world and it's almost like we all alone. So when you got your frat, the sisterhood, the social clubs, they're like a sorority, and it's like this. You can't build Rome by yourself.
You know.
You gotta have a network. You gotta have a support group.
Like
I
you said.
found myself running my head into the wall, trying to do shit like an island. But once I fell back, put my guard down, and started embracing people in brotherhood, this and that, things were so much better.
African proverb.
You got it.
If you want to go fast, go by yourself. If you want to go far, go with your people.
Facts. And that's 100% facts. So Miss Taz, salute to you. You know what I'm saying, and everything. And if you would like to come on down, talk about your behind the scenes type thing, and also talk about the sisterhood and stuff like that, and these social clubs, we'd love to have you.
Definitely. We about networking. We about exposing
We'll do.
us to us. You know what I'm saying? Mouth to ear. That's the premise of what this show is. Like I said, we sit, talk shit, and swallow spit, and go on about other shit and all that. But what we want to do is introduce people and network. That's what we here for. The other stuff is just part of the shit. Because if we didn't have something else to do, because especially doing a live show, you got to deal with people's schedules. Because people be like, oh, you here because we try to be consistent with our shit. You know, we tell people, hey, we go on at 6, not 6:45, not 6:22. We go live at 6, a live business, because we a business. This is a business. And people we be bullshitting. Oh, man, and motherfuckers want to get here, and oh, man, I'm still on the way. And like, dude, we go at 6. You know, it's a business. You gotta treat people how you want to be treated. You know what I'm saying? You come here, we gonna feed you. You gonna drink some quality shit too, because I don't drink cheap shit. But you know what I'm saying?
Top shelf like a motherfucker.
Like a motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? Ain't shit about me cheap. And you know what I'm saying? But anyway, you want to get into these current topics, because it's been a hell of a.
One thing to that I want to say is, you know, like in relation to what he was saying. You know, spreading the word, mouth to ear, this and that. One of the first things back when I first became woke, way back in the days, and we was wearing our X hats
and the fucking African medallions.
You understand? But one of the most important things that the OGs would always say is, each one teach one. And And that's one of the things that we've gotten away from. Even though now we can reach so many people with social media and this and that,
Right.
but sometimes it could just be noise out into the thing. The people that you come in direct contact with, that you meet personally, those are the people that you can either have a profound effect on positively or negatively. So always remember, when you're doing business, when you're conducting yourself, even sometimes when you're just conducting yourself and doing you, there's a cat that's observing you that might not say that, and they might either be inspired by you or turned off by you. It just all depends on where they at in life and what energy you putting out. So always remember that old saying of each one teach one is true. Because sometimes in your life, like you doing your thing at AT&T. You've been doing it there for a long time. You've been in the leadership positions and all that. There's a brother right now that's there who maybe just got in the door, and you're teaching him. He might not ever come to you and say, hey man, I've been learning from you this and that, but trust me, he observing you. He's seeing how you conduct yourself. He's seeing how you react to shit. He's seeing how you navigate through them. Because sometimes in corporate waters, it's full of sharks.
Oh man,
So even
it definitely is. It's killer whales. It's barracudas.
Right.
It's everything in that motherfucker.
But without you even knowing, there's somebody that you're teaching.
Oh, true.
You know what I'm saying?
It was when I started,
Yeah.
many moons ago, 25 plus years ago.
Right.
I was watching people how they moved, and it was like, okay.
So each one teach one, and the teach one ain't always got to be, sit down, young blood, let me school you. You know, in fact, many of us, we even learned how to conduct ourselves as men by observing, when we was youngsters, observing other men. We might not ever told them, hey man, OG, I watched all your moves. They might not ever even know it, but we learned how to be a man or not be a man
by what you see.
Exact that. Because like, I remember, you remember last week we was talking about the drug addiction thing, right? Yeah. And what was one of the things that was saying? There's some people that will say, oh, I never used no drugs because I watched my father.
Right.
And other people be like, oh, I use drugs because
I watched my father.
Exactly. Yeah. So the same scenario.
You can have a brother and brother who have the same mom and dad, and both parents are addicted to drugs. One can go wrong path, and one can be like, I watch that shit, I know what it does, I don't fuck with it.
And the other one be like, man, I watched that shit and everybody was kicking it.
I'm there.
So, but either way, negatively or positively, that each one teach one is real. There is somebody right now by your life that you are teaching and you didn't know. So if you're going to teach, always be the best version of yourself.
You got to. And you never know.
You know what I'm saying?
And the thing about it, you never know who watching.
That's
one of the things like, well, my son with sports, you know, we sports year round and shit. And he just got one of his acceptance letters to one of the colleges he applied for. And, you know, so I'm juiced. Like, that's what's up.
Yeah.
But with sports, one of the things I've always told him, always when you going to play for a team, and he started in all-star travel ball teams, won many championships, and I'm like, never get complacent, even at practice, because even when any game you playing in, you start most of the time, but even if you don't start, your attitude and how you carry yourself, because you never know who in the stands watching. This scout may come in to see this other kid on your team or the other team, but if you're doing something and carrying yourself at a stature that's here, it may get his attention. He'd be like, wait a minute, I'm here to look at this kid. Okay, I'm looking at him, but yo, who is that kid over there?
Always be ready.
You know?
I tell a story of Michael Grant. Michael Grant was a cat that went to Cal. He did all 4 years at Cal. He wasn't considered an NBA prospect. He's a native of Sacramento. In fact, I want to say he went to Grant. But
Pacers, 92.
But yeah, not Michael, his name is Michael Stewart. And so one day the Kings was drafting this cat from Europe, so they bring you in for a workout. So this dude was like, Michael Stewart was like 16. And somebody was like, hey, this dude, we need somebody that's going to work against dude in the drills. And he's like, damn, we don't got no... Somebody said, hey, Mike is at the house. He's local. He's about 6'10". He played D1 ball. He could at least come stand in. So they called him up, hey, would you be willing to come down and help us with this workout with other dudes? And he was like, sure, no problem. Because a lot of people be like, oh, well, what's up with me, right? Yeah. So that's what they was expecting. Mike was like, hey, no problem. I'll come to y'all a favor. What time y'all need me to be there? So right. Okay, got a positive. Well, sure enough, when he came to the workout with the Kings, he actually ended up dominating the dude that they brought in from Europe. Mm-hmm. And they started thinking, I need to see this motherfucker. And so they ended up signing him. Mm-hmm. And he ended up doing like 7 years in the NBA. Mm-hmm. And if anybody knows, if you last more than 4 years, you in the pension and all that shit. So by having a positive attitude, not having no hesitation and coming down there and doing them a favor, he put himself in a position where, because he wasn't considered an NBA prospect. Right. So nobody was even giving him no look. Well, he ended up making several years in the NBA, getting into the pension, which means basically setting himself up for life, basically because he was willing. And to do the when they was actually looking for somebody else,
do the grunt work,
he was willing to participate.
Exactly.
There's so many opportunities are given because he was willing to show up.
Remember my post, one of my sayings. Opportunities are usually disguised as hard work, therefore most fail to recognize it.
Facts.
That's big facts. Big facts. You know what I'm saying? And shit, we got Nate tuning in, we got Cliff tuning in.
I see Mark Anthony.
Mark Anthony, what's up, bro? Appreciate you always, my guy.
We're about to get to his favorite subject now.
We finna start going in a sec. Y'all ready? Yeah, we finna buckle y'all seatbelts because we finna go in.
Man, rest in peace to the boy Tory, because man, his career is pretty much dead.
Over, as y'all know, you know, and I'm gonna preface this with remember when we first heard this shit, and I said from the beginning, I'm like, I'm not gonna give my opinion because I don't know the facts. You know, if he did do the shit, that's some bitch ass shit.
Yeah,
if he didn't, because and a jury, I didn't follow the shit a lot.
I actually did because I spent a lot of goof off time at work, so I was kind of in it.
I didn't follow it as in depth because one, I thought it was a distraction because you got more important shit going on. Mm-hmm. Y'all know that they just proved who killed Kennedy, but y'all wouldn't know that because y'all worried about this shit. Right. But I mean, they just we'll go. Never mind. I'm gonna make sure I get home safe tonight. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? There's real shit going on, but we can talk about this. So,
my thing is
they found the nigga guilty.
Yeah. He should have copped out. Trust me, I would have never took that shit to the jury. I don't know what legal strategy he thought, or because I know he had high-powered lawyers. I don't know if they gassed this boy up that they could beat the case. And because of his celebrity, sometimes what Elijah Muhammad said, the cameras and stuff is a powerful narcotic. Mm-hmm. And sometimes when the cameras is on you, the spotlight is on you, you walk into a room and it don't matter what game you got, the baddest ones is on you. Sometimes you can get this inflated sense of yourself, but anybody with common sense knows if you actually did that shit, and there's people willing to say you did that shit, and I don't want to hear nothing about, his DNA wasn't on the gun, this and that. Man, this cast done did 30, 40 years because somebody say they kind of look like the person. Then the DNA come back, and it was some whole other dude, and then they exonerate him. So we all know that. People get wrongfully convicted due to lack of DNA all the time. But the bottom line of what I'm saying is if you've ever been in the system, you've ever really been in court trials and this and that, if you place yourself at the scene, you admit you was there, and there's people that are willing to get on the stand and say they saw you with a gun in your hand, you're not beating no shooting case. I don't give a fuck how many platinum records you got. I don't give a fuck what high-powered lawyers you got, because at the end of the day, high-powered lawyers want to get paid. So they'll tell you we can beat this. And knowing what lawyers cost and the type of lawyers he got, they probably made a couple hundred bands. Anybody that's really been in the streets would have been, if he had somebody around him, would have been like, hey, blood, you need to play, let's make a deal off top. You need to get at them people and be like, hey, man, what's the deal? Just like right now with this Young Thug boy. Right. Everybody taking these deals and this and that, and they finna fry him.
I'm lightweight, not paying attention to that case. because it's
Yeah, like
because
in
it's
that case,
grown.
he did 32 years.
Right. I respect that. I got family members that did just like that and home and so I respect that and salute all day, bro.
Yeah.
We definitely need to talk.
Yeah.
We need to chop it
But
up.
my thing in this particular case, he probably could have copped. He should have had them lawyers in there. He probably could have copped out to a year or something like that. And you know what I'm saying? And then 5 or 6 months, been on his way to some transitional housing and been back home and put this behind him. Why he took it all the way to the jury, and even his witness that he brought in, I was following the case.
Right.
He brought in a defense witness who was like, "Oh yeah, I saw the little guy talking about Tory with a gun." I'm like, "Nigga, your witness just got on the stand and fried you." Like, man, so it's like sometimes when you are caught up in the system, sometimes when you caught up in the system, like I can understand. Like in Nate's particular case, you need to file it because Nate ended up having to do 32 years.
Man, that's a long time.
But in a case like what Tory was going through, I think his ego got the best of him, and he didn't have nobody around him that's really been through the fire. That
If you're around,
be like, "Hey,
yes,
Tory,
man.
Tory, blood, they gonna fry you, dog. You can't beat this, man." You know, I know you probably got everybody.
Yes, man.
You
You
know what
got
I'm
a bunch
saying?
of yes men
But
around
you gotta
you.
have somebody around
You're gonna
you
run
to say,
into a brick wall.
to say, "Hey, Tory," you know what I'm saying? You know, like
And-
right now, like this boy Young Thug. I was reading on one of the blogs that everybody getting plea deals, and the reason why he ain't getting the plea deals because they trying to hit him with the life. And I'm like, damn.
And here's the thing. I'm gonna say this wholeheartedly and unapologetically. No matter what field of entertainment you are in, you're an entertainer. To them, your job is to entertain you. And you've heard me say this before. They always know your vices. What they are. Whether you like to do a lot of weed, whether you do extracurricular shit, whether you tricking off on women, or you trying to keep it so hood for your hood. Whatever your vice is, these motherfuckers know what your vice is. Believe me, they study you. They allow you to get on. Y'all can think I'm bullshitting all you want. They allow you to get on. Don't get me wrong. There's hard work and effort that gets on to get a buzz.
Yeah.
But there's a machine. The machine is there.
And the machine picks people. And they do everything they can after they pick some
You'll
people
be allowed
like
to do shit when they know your vice, because as long as you play that game. When you don't play the game, that's when your shit that you did or do come back to haunt you. And they don't have a problem proving this shit because our society taught us the wrong way. Society has taught us that
Suge was
ego.
very knowledgeable. That's why they had to send him up the river.
You're right, Nate. Yeah, Suge is a real one. And they railroaded the fuck out of bruh.
Man, 28 years? Okay.
And the thing about it, that's what happens. The teachers that mouth to ear shit that I be speaking on, when you get people who show you the ism and the way, the Jedi mindset, that's who they come for. And if you have vices, they know what your vices is. Like I said, they use that shit against you, whether it's ego, whether it's whatever it is. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, years ago, I was like, Suge should have stayed in the background.
Yeah. Food and beverage.
You know, there's a faceless society.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with being able to just walk around and nobody know who you are because you got anonymity.
You know who's the best at that in the world?
You know?
Al Heyman. Al Heyman is a guy that obliged Floyd and all them. There was a story one time that him and HBO did a 6-fight, $90 million deal. $90 million deal, and they did it over the phone. And after they did the deal, the people at HBO realized,
we didn't see who this nigga is.
We've never even actually seen him. So one time, Floyd was fighting Miguel Cotto, right?
Hey, right. David Kenner is
And so Floyd was giving his thank yous, and he pointed and he said, "Hey, I want to thank Al Heyman." Right? And HBO cameras was like, wait, Al Heyman is actually here in person? And they were struggling to find him because they didn't know what Al Heyman actually looks like. In fact, if you Google Al Heyman on the internet,
you see a picture of me.
Yeah. The picture that pops up for Al Heyman ain't Al Heyman. It's his guy that got the sons and shit like that to be at all the fights. But sometimes people say Al Heyman never comes to the fights. That's the joke. Sometimes Al Heyman does come to the fights. They just don't know what he looks like. But this man done $1 billion worth of business. And he did the Budweiser Fest in the 80s. He's done $1 billion worth of business.
Yeah.
And people don't even know what he looks like. Talk about a stone cold player.
Because I could walk in the grocery store, you'll never know.
Yeah. Yes, Harry O was there too.
Yeah.
Harry O, shout out to Harry O. Harry O just
Harry
got up
Harry
from doing all them
Shout
years.
out to Harry O.
So let me tell you something. 1993. This is my first tour. I'm so happy. We finna do, because I'm finally out the hood. And I feel like I'm doing some shit. My family's so proud of me finally. And they say we're going to do 48 cities in 56 days.
Ooh-wee.
My first time ever leaving California. I'm going places I never thought I'd go. We get to Mobile, Alabama. And the label, on every so few cities, the label will fly somebody in from New York. And they'd connect with us and kick it with us in that city. And then they would get back on the plane. And then in a couple more cities down the road, they'd get with us. So we're in Mobile, Alabama.
The mobile check-in.
So, Dog flies into Birmingham. And when we get to the hotel, we didn't have no cell phones and all that shit back then. We get to the hotel, and there's a phone number waiting saying, call this number. I call the number, dude say, hey, I'm in Mobile. When y'all get into Alabama, I'm going to connect with y'all. I'm staying in such and such, right? So we get there, right? And we there. And Love gives me $500. I'm like, what's this for? He said, man, keep the group happy, man. Whoop the group. And I'm like, okay, cool. And he said, whatever they like. He said to me, see, it's been 30 years, so I can speak on that. And he said to me, if the niggas like some hookers, get some hookers. If the niggas like blow, get the niggas some blow. I'm looking at dude, because see, I'm still young and square. And I look at dude, and I say, nah, we ain't gonna get no hookers. And he like, and I'm like, we damn sure ain't finna do no blow.
Yeah, we'll do that shit.
Dude say, he peel off a couple more hundred, and he give it to me. And he said, man, just make sure they have a good time, man. And he said, you mean tell me these niggas don't do no coke or nothing, no extra shit? And I'm like, no, they don't get down like that, right? And he said, oh, so they don't? They don't get down like that? What about the hookers? And I said, well, the one nigga in the group, he married, and the other nigga got a girl, and then, in fact, at this point, we've been on the road damn near 30 days. Niggas ain't even said hello to her,
Yeah.
And dude said, now I'm holding like $700. I'm trying to give it back to dude because we don't need this. And dude's like, no, who's that? And he said, so they don't do no blow at all, right? And dude said, well, why don't you go get something and introduce niggas to it? And I'm standing there because these my homies. And I'm damn sure I'm not finna go get no blow and introduce niggas to blow. This 93. If a nigga did a line of coke, you done.
I buy. Nigga, what you doing?
What? Nigga not fucking with the nigga no more, right?
Yeah, you kicked out.
And
nigga,
I said,
you catch the Greyhound. You lead the tour, nigga. We fire you now.
So I guess I'm looking so horrified at the nigga, and the nigga say, nah, I'm just playing. But
they know your mind. Exactly.
Knowing the mind that I know now, right? And then, so we go to a club, and I remember the club was in Mobile, Alabama. It was called the Solid Gold Lounge. And we had just did Rap City, so few people recognized us in there. So we felt like, so the next morning, dude, like, he finna go to Birmingham and fly back out. And he said, hey, man, that conversation we had last night. And I'm like, he said, keep that between us. But he said, man, if you really want to get far in this game, you got to be willing to play the game. And I'm like, okay, what you mean? So I'm looking at this nigga, because I'm like, I'm 21, whatever, right?
I'm trying to learn.
Blood in his 30s. And even though that shit he said about get these niggas some blow or something sounded crazy to me, I'm still trying to hear this nigga, right?
Because he's somewhere where you might want to be one.
Right? And he said, hey, man. he said, even if it ain't hookers or blow, man, he said, you gotta know what makes niggas tick.
Yes.
And he said, if you know how to get close to niggas, he said, you'll be valuable to us.
Yes.
And what he meant by that, you know what I'm saying?
Know your enemy.
So me being a go along with get along dude, I said, yeah, I understand. So he said, okay, you up on game, youngster.
Yeah.
And then he left and stuff. And I never told them about him wanting me to get them some hookers and some blow, but I'm still holding this extra.
Kill my landlord would
Right.
have turned into kill my record label.
Okay, you know what time it is.
Of course
Okay.
I do.
Okay, you know what time it is, right? So here goes the thing. We then end up in Atlanta,
Mm-hmm.
and we go to a club called Nicky's. Before Magic City, there was Nicky's, and so niggas seem to be enjoying themselves.
Mm-hmm.
And I had $700 extra dollars, $700 in the strip club in 1993.
Oh man, you ballin'.
So I was like, fuck it. Now in clarity, my niggas just enjoyed lap dance. They didn't participate in really farther beyond that. They didn't like it. I had this $700 to burn. I made sure niggas had a good time.
Mm-hmm.
But that's when it really hit me that, okay, if these niggas was into that, this and that,
Mm-hmm.
I got the extra bread, unbeknownst to them, because they didn't know Blood from the label that gave me this bread.
Right.
I could then control them, and then Blood would be controlling me.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So niggas was like, man, where you get the money? I said, I've been stacking up. And so I blew it, but I always, so when people start talking about the shit that they'll do to control this and that,
They will go.
I don't know nothing about no Illuminati and all that type of shit, but I do know that motherfuckers was trying to encourage me to get these rappers onto some blow and get some hookers and shit for them, this and that. So when you say that they try to find your vices,
They do.
that's really not no
That's
joke.
real.
Whatever it is that you're really into, they gonna make sure you get more than enough of it.
Look at how they paid artists back in the 50s, the 60s, even the 70s.
Go watch the
early
movie
days.
Cadillac Records.
Look, they paid artists in dope
Mhm.
because they knew you was strung out.
Yeah.
And also the thing about that, the double-edged sword about that is, because I've watched documentaries and read books of different artists,
Mhm.
and they said they've done some of their best material high.
Yeah.
They look at sports. There's a pitcher who threw a no-hitter off LSD.
Yeah.
And it was a brother.
Doc.
Yeah.
Doc, yeah, I remember. Yeah.
He threw a no-hitter off LSD.
Yeah.
So the effects of drugs it's a double-edged sword because it unlocks some things.
Coltrane and all them dudes was
Yeah. You have bands who had major jam sessions high.
Yeah.
You
They
know.
made some classic material.
Yeah, high. Altered state of mind.
But just think, there was a dude in the Entourage. Everybody remember the Temptations movie?
Yeah.
And David Ruffin had his partner.
Mm-hmm.
They always end up putting somebody around. I wasn't willing to play that role.
Yeah.
One, I had morals, and two, I was so motherfucking square that the thought of betraying my partners like that
We wouldn't go like
some,
that.
was some horrible shit to me.
We're not
But
built
they
like
always find a nigga next to you, and they pump him for information on you, and they give him the tools to get to the. If you like hookers and blow, all of a sudden that nigga always got money for hookers and blow, and that money ain't coming magically.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
And then, I'll just use today's example with social media and your accounts. You know, say you follow certain Instagram models or certain pages. Don't be surprised. What's up, Vaughn? Don't be surprised if you get a DM from your internet crush all of a sudden, or because that's everybody. It's a come up game.
Kevin Hart, prime example.
Mm-hmm.
His partner is like, "Hey, I got one for you." Bring him to
Try to
like,
set him
y'all
up.
ain't in the room, and he done set up a camera in there, and then anonymously trying to blackmail him. Only thing that he didn't anticipate was that Kevin was like, I ain't paying a dime. Fuck it. Hey, honey, they got me on tape. Whoopie whoop, and then went to the FBI.
Integrity. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
That's entrapment. The thing about it is,
you look at that type of cross. Because only a nigga that apparently the nigga that set him up was a nigga that they would vacation together. That's how close
betrayal don't come from a stranger. It never does.
Who say that part again?
Betrayal doesn't come from a stranger.
Only a person truly close to you can hurt you and also can give people the information that it takes to really bring you down.
Exactly.
Because you might...
Because if I love you, that means I'm allowing you the opportunity to hurt me. I'm just hoping you don't.
A person might play perfect family man in front of the world, but his partner really knows that he got side bitches.
Yeah.
But just think that partner is really actually working for the label.
Mm-hmm.
Or the production company. And now
or just like, you know, something, I'm going to need something.
Pictures of himself in bed naked.
Right.
And then tell you, this is what we're going to pay you, not that. And in fact, we're going to need you to endorse this politician. Mm-hmm. We're going to need you to pitch this product with this and that. And the nigga, what you say? Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Right away, sir.
Because you want to keep your image. Because people, the thing is, the mirror, it reflects both ways. You know, most people, if they in this perception of on top or in celebrity status, you think everybody's cheering for you.
Yeah. And
no, they're not. You have haters.
In fact, some of them are praying for you.
You have
fall.
Right. This false sense of security behind likes, mentions, album sales, retweets, all this shit that scientifically, the endorphins in the brain get stimulated by these things that address certain insecurities you may have with yourself within.
Yeah.
And don't get me wrong, hey, everybody's not the guy, so it's okay. Somebody has to be in last place.
Yeah.
That's life. Somebody has to be in last place. There will always be somebody in last place. It's not saying that you're a bad person if you're in last place. I'll use school, academics. Let's go that way. Smart. Everybody passes the class.
Yeah.
We're great. No. Not even that. I'm going to go on the high end of the scale. Everybody passes the class with a great passing grade. But somebody still was the lowest
when they grade
of those high grades.
When they grade on the curve.
Everybody passed with superb grades, but there's still somebody that was in last place.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't mean they're a bad person. Just means they're in last place. That's it. You'll get that hopefully now. Not at 3 a.m. I mean, what else you had going on? You got the Romeo Master P shit, which is another distraction.
I wish they hadn't went public with that.
Yeah, y'all see, that's another thing. Like I said, ego is a hell of a drug, and distractions is a hell of a distraction. That whole Master P, Bow Wow shit, in-house family shit. Once again, I don't follow and really get in depth with a lot of this shit because it's distractions. It's sad, but it goes to the shit that we talk about. We put people on these pedestals and act like they're not human. And when you see that, oh man, you did your people like that, niggas who don't have shit do they people like that. Yeah. So what would you expect someone who has a lot of shit and I'm not knocking Master P with this, but I will just say this. I respect P all day, done what he done. And his record label, entrepreneurial shit, he got his game from the Bay. Mm-hmm. So let's keep it a buck.
Yeah.
But and once again, I'm just gonna say this honestly, no bullshit, no hating, not a hating bone in my body. There's very little original that he's created.
The ice cream man.
And once again, I'm not knocking the man for living.
Right.
I'm not. Mm-hmm. So don't nobody misconstrue my words.
I got a mixed bag. I got a mixed bag on him.
Yeah. I'm not mad at him at all. You know what I'm saying? I am not.
He's actually an inspiration to me.
And that's the thing, because he has a story of where he came from and all that, so it's all inspiration. So, like I said, I'm not knocking nothing.
I literally take you way back in the days. Me and my boy Big Point, rest in peace.
Right.
We was in the Kinko's in San Leandro.
I'm not knocking.
We was in Kinko's right there on Marina, right?
I salute.
And this cat was in the thing in front of us, and he was trying to get some lease agreements, right? And he looked around our same age. Maybe a little touch older, but he was obviously in our age range. And I could hear him talking to the people, and he said, yeah, I'm trying to get some rental agreements because I just bought some apartments in Berkeley. And I'm trying to get rental agreements for the tenants. And so the person came and gave him that. And all I was looking at is like, because I seen the cat, he had the gold ones, and he had some Lokes on. Like Easy E type Lokes and some gold ones. So he literally looked like a nigga from in front of the liquor store, but he was talking about he owned apartments.
Right.
Me, I didn't know even what it take to even rent an apartment. I had only lived with broads. I didn't know I rent an apartment. This cat who looked like he came from the same cloth as me was talking about he bought some apartments, and that shit was just fascinating to me.
It was happening.
And he dropped a wad of bread. And as he was walking out, I picked it up, and I was like, hey, and he went out the door, and my partner was like, I'm like, fuck that. Because I was fascinated by this nigga. And I followed him out to the parking lot. He had a blue Nissan Altima. And I said, hey man, dog, you dropped this. And he was like, oh, thanks, man. And he said, man, I'm Master P the rapper. I'm from Richmond, from Townhomes. And I'm like, oh, okay, cool, man, nice to meet you. And he had some No Limit shirts. 99 Ways to Die. Whatever. It was like the guy was trying to kill me. He had some shirts and stuff, and he was like, hey, let me give you a couple shirts, man. I appreciate this, because, man, I needed this, man. I was going to be like, what happened? And I was like, oh, it's nothing, right? And my partner over there, was so disgusted that he didn't want to take a shirt from the nigga because he mad at me. Because that's how broke we was, that this was a come-up. But I was sitting in the Kinko's listening to this nigga talk to the people behind the counter, and I was so inspired because it was a young nigga like myself talking about buying apartments. This ain't no niggas I knew talking about buying no apartments. Everybody I knew, it was the broad, and the broad was putting them out every other weekend. So that was just the bossiest shit ever, and he didn't look like no Carlton Banks nigga. Yeah, Lokes on and gold. Once I got a link, gave me the shirt. I'm like, okay, Master P the rapper.
What's that?
All right. And then after that, they had a magazine, 4080. It was some magazine there, and he was on the cover of it, and it was like Master P the rapper. And I was like, oh yeah.
Source. You had Murder Dog back then.
Yeah, this was some local shit that they had.
Murder
and I was
Dog,
like,
probably.
oh. I was like, man, I met Dog, right? I even got his shirt, right? And this and that. And then after that, he did a video, and it came on the box. And he had a 500 pins, and he didn't have the Ultima no more. And he was still repping Richmond. And they was calling him True. In fact, Yaski and hella people was there that was local. And I was like, damn, that's dude. He hella coming up, man. He a boss. And then as that over the years, I saw him continue to grow, right? So I've always looked at him, and I understand, like, I'm a rap purist. So to me, his bars, no insult to him.
No insult.
To me, his bars was always mediocre. So that's why I got a mixed bag, because I'm sitting there like, I always look at him like, he ain't that talented. But then I look at what the fuck he done accomplished.
Hard work beats talent when talent don't work hard.
In fact, it's the same knock that a lot of people be putting on Tyler Perry. All Tyler Perry movies is whoopie whoop. And I be sitting there like,
hard work
that's the
beats
made
talent.
$500 million. Tyler Perry done made $1 billion, but it's niggas across America that will tell you Master P can't spit. Oh, Tyler Perry movies ain't no good. And I be sitting there like, then why is these niggas got more money than Obama? you know? Why these niggas damn near sitting on $1 billion? So if that don't inspire you, that okay, if these supposedly no talented niggas can hustle up $1 billion, then why am I sitting here broke?
Hard work beats talent when talent doesn't work hard. And also, they know your vices and they give you the lane.
But see, you can't pull no vices on nigga like Master P because he always did it like a boss. He ain't always been independent. He ain't always did it his way. People say, a lot of his ideas is whack. But yeah, but man, he ain't got... The reason why he can put his whack ideas out is because he ain't got to buy it. And he ain't got to get no clearance from nobody.
And somebody going to support it.
What's the ultimate goal? To be your own boss.
People who support what I'm doing.
So it's always
I
over here. It's
what I want.
always. I hate that him and Romeo is doing this thing publicly and letting the
Yeah,
blogs get their entertainment.
Right.
But the flip side to that though is that it's always a salute to Master P. If Romeo money ended up being funny, then they can work that out because you can always make more money.
That's your seed.
But there's a flip side to it is that if Romeo wouldn't have been named Romeo Miller and he'd have been named Romeo Jones, he'd be a nigga still trying to push a demo at the age of 35.
Right. And I see both sides.
You know what I'm saying? So it's always shouts out to Master P for me. And Tyler Perry, man. They always, it's bulletproof, eternal love to both of them because they're a shining example, both of them, of how a nigga can come from nothing to something if you just don't take no for an answer.
I'm gonna let you have that. Yeah, he can have that.
No, niggas, man.
I ain't hating. I'm just saying. I'll let you have that. I'm not disagreeing with what you're saying. I said, I'll let you have that. I'll give you that.
Like in my heart, I think I can make a better movie than Tyler Perry. But shit, I gotta go to work.
I'm not mad at this hustle. He hustle.
I gotta work on Tuesday. Tyler ain't gotta go to work on Tuesday. So
I'm not knocking nobody's hustle. If people buy it and don't support it, it is what it is. I'm just like we can sit here and talk about everybody got their opinion of top 5 MCs, top 5 teams. It's based on your opinion. Nobody's opinion is wrong. What happens is everybody think their opinion is superior to somebody else's opinion.
And 2001 Lakers are the best NBA team ever.
That's his opinion. He's entitled to that.
And the 2017 Warriors.
I don't have to agree with that. But
you do agree though about 2017 Warriors though.
Yeah, but I'm just saying. Nobody, that's the problem. Everybody wants to be superior. Like there can only be one. Like this is fucking Highlander. It's not.
Because a lot of things depend on context. You know what I'm saying? Context, timing, scenarios, what rule sets. So it's never. What do you always say? There's no absolutes.
There's no absolutes. Only the Sith believes in absolutes. Hey, Nate asked a question. Nate said, "How do you feel? You should have dipped on the money you gave back, or do you your friends still feel that way now?"
I got a mixed emotion on that because morally, I did the right thing. Morally, I did the correct thing, and I'd like to think morally I would always do the right thing.
So, Keish.
But the flip side to that though is that not too much longer after that, niggas ended up turning on me, and niggas wasn't actually my friends. So the street nigga in me says, man, I should have pimped them niggas, man. I should have pimped them niggas. I should have dogged them niggas, man. Niggas was fake, man. I should have dogged them niggas. I should have went ahead on the rock with the other folks, man. Got as much as I could and exploited them niggas. The moral part of me says, you know what? Regardless of what them niggas did, I know I did the right thing. I ain't gonna lose no sleep because I did the right thing. I even sacrificed my own opportunity, at least in that particular scenario, because I've had other moments of corruption and temptation. But in that particular scenario, I could never lose no sleep because I did the right thing. And I'd like to think that even if right now, if somebody put some impressionable rappers in my hand and we went on the road and the machine came to me, I would do the right thing. But, now here's the but. I was young and idealistic then at that time and thought we was going to be friends for life. So now, knowing what I know now, how niggas will turn on you and this and that, I would have a greater temptation to do me or to make sure that I'm good. But, and that's the mixed bag. The moral aspects of me likes to think that I would always do the right thing. The real nigga aspects of me is like, you know what? You can do all that moral shit. You can do right by niggas, and the first chance that they got to get a bigger bag,
they're gonna fuck you over.
Not only did they go get a bigger bag, they slandered the nigga too in the process. Like, you went to got a bigger bag and then tried to stop my bag. So it's like, damn. But I still like to think that no matter what the next nigga doing, I'm gonna do the right thing because I'm a stand-up nigga. That's what I like to think.
The universe gonna give you. And this is I'll answer that same question in the scenario if it was me. I firmly believe that in the end, my heart and the feather gonna weigh the same. And that's what I work towards. I get the chick. It's like something my dad taught me when I was a youngster. Few things my dad's famous quotes. One, the only way 3 people keep secrets is 2 of them dead.
Mm-hmm.
And that's true. And another one he say is chickens today is feathers tomorrow. You know, that big me, little you mentality is whack.
Mm-hmm.
So long as I continue to give the good, like you said, the moral code. Some of us have a real moral compass, and I know true north.
Yeah.
Some of y'all don't even know what I'm talking about right now, but
Yeah.
I know true north.
There's been situations where I could have
Yeah.
to certain niggas or did certain things.
Yeah, and I
niggas,
just don't, because I know.
I stayed true, even though it was not only not no advantage to me, it was actually a detriment to me that I didn't.
You just ride it because at the end of the
You know what I'm
day,
saying? In fact,
the universe
sometimes
is
I sat
going.
back and felt like I went out like a sucker because, man, fuck that nigga. But at the end of the day, I call myself a real nigga.
It puts you in a better position because at the end of the day, the universe is going to reward you on your efforts and your merits, not your ego.
That's the part of being a real nigga that they don't sometimes tell you is that sometimes
That's the road.
you gotta allow yourself to be
fall.
fucked over to maintain your integrity.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Even though, and you look around and every motherfucker around you is selling out or getting theirs or at a certain point and
Right.
choosing the bag when you be like, oh, I thought he was a better nigga than that.
Hey,
And you know what I'm saying? And so and then you look up and nobody is respecting that you stood true.
Mhm.
In fact, they respecting the nigga that
did the spunky shit.
and he got the bag and he living plush and he got the bitches and he chilling and you over here with your integrity broke and you and then you and nobody is celebrating you for being a real nigga. In fact, and then you got sometimes you have self-doubt. And sometimes you feeling like, man, I'm gonna play myself
The real
like a sucker trying to keep it real, and nobody around me is keeping it real.
Hey, you're right. In a room full
So I don't know how to
in
call
a
it,
room
man,
full of
sometimes.
suckers.
I just know what I've done in life, and I can stand on it and be proud of myself. And you know what they say about character is how you act and how you do
When in a winless situation.
or when no one's around.
Right.
You know, I done had moments where I done went out like a sucker trying to maintain my integrity, and there was nobody there to cheer me and say, "Oh, P, you a real ass nigga."
Exactly.
In fact, niggas I respect would be like, "Man, I'd have wrapped that nigga up like a Christmas turkey."
Exactly. Like, nigga, I would have cleaned that nigga clock.
And I'd be like, "Oh, no, I can't do that." And niggas take it, and I see niggas take a shot. Niggas that I respected.
What's up, Candace?
In fact, niggas that I'm thinking that I done learned the G code from this nigga. So in fact, he gonna be proud of me for keeping it G, and he take a shot and be like, "You stupid in the motherfucker." I
Like,
would
man,
have
I'd have let ego take over that day. It's like, nah, you know something? I'm cool. At the end of the day, that takes some real faith and that's some real belief in, you know. We echoing.
But hey,
Candace said we echoing. I don't know how.
for sure. But hey, but as this clock keeps ticking,
Mm-hmm.
I sometimes lean back and reflect on shit and be like, man, I should have got the bag.
Yeah.
But then the moments of weakness though, the moments of weakness then go away, and I still be like, but then I wouldn't be me, and I'm happy with.
Exactly.
I'm happy with who I am. I wouldn't be me, but God,
you able to. Once again, I had a homie who passed years ago, and his funeral was on my birthday. And I had to go to his funeral on my birthday. OG I looked up to and told one of my cousins something when we were younger. And this brother was in the life doing a lot. And he was like, and my boy was at the bus stop taking his kids to school or something. And the homie pulled up on him and was like, bruh, what's happening? I see you. You know, it was always respect. He was like, bruh, you taking your kids to school? I wish I could be doing shit like that. Like I said, anyway, being able to walk around in public without all the extra shit is the greatest. Because everybody nowadays, everybody want to be woke and everybody talking about, oh, I need my peace of mind, which is true. But everybody's starting to learn this shit late. But everybody want the bag. Everybody want to do this shit. Everybody want to be famous. Everybody want to have everybody on their dick.
Mm-hmm.
But if you got everybody on your dick, when do you have time to be you?
Ain't no taking your kids to McDonald's. Ain't no taking your kids.
The ability to be a regular person is peace.
A lot of people are misguided that they really think they can have both. You can't have both. And so that trying to serve two masters, that being half
you gotta
in,
feed both wolves, but you don't have to serve two masters.
But that being half in, half out, half. What the boys say, no such thing as a halfway cook. So you dabble in some shit. You playing with this a little bit. You playing with that because you're trying to have the bag, but you're also trying to have a family. You're trying to have hoes, but you're trying to have a wife. You're trying to get money out here and hustle, but you're trying to have integrity.
Or you just want to be poly.
You know what I'm saying?
You want to be poly. You'd be surprised what some females would.
But if you're going to be poly, then you need to. But that's the thing. You got to commit to it because there's some chicks that will be like, you trying to be poly with her, right? And she look up and be like, nigga, I had to pay the light bill last month. How you going to? And you know what I'm saying?
It's more than just, because the average dude think it means just, I get to have sex with hella women. Nah, it's more.
But there's some women that look at you and be like, nigga, I've been holding you down. And now I'm supposed to hold you down in another bitch? It's one thing if you was, like for instance, being poly, shit like that, is supposed to be for a nigga that has the resources and the capability to support multiple households.
Multiple women is a rich man's game. And don't get me wrong. As a youngster, being out in the world in my young teenage and young adult, multiple women was easy because it was easy, and it was.
But imagine multiple women in the same house raising kids.
Right.
You got several kids.
That's a whole different thing.
And y'all building towards, and it ain't just a sex thing.
Ready for. Yeah,
y'all you building. Imagine how hard it is with just your family. Now imagine if you have your family and triplicate.
Tripping and mad.
This one you got one kid by, this one you got 3 kids by, this and that. They all need your attention. They all need your time. They all need you to have the answers. They all need you to keep the refrigerator full. They all need you to lead the way. And a lot of y'all ain't built like that. Y'all ain't even built to lead your family, let alone multiple families. Yeah. So if you get multiple bras to come fuck you, cool. But when you start getting serious about life and you want to start having businesses, you want to have real estate, you want to have things, you also want to start thinking, you start getting to the age where you start thinking, what are the kids who are going to come who never meet me? The descendants who are never going to meet me, but they're going to be named Pharaoh the Fourth. And they're going to be like, oh yeah, I'm named after my great-grandfather. He was a hell of a nigga. What is them? You know what I'm saying? Like, when you start talking about legacy, families, foundation, providing a life, being like a lion with 4, 5 bras and 20 cubs in your thing, and everybody's looking at you like, oh shit, here comes a predator. Oh shit, here comes this. Come on, Big Daddy. You gotta make it right. Can you imagine 15 kids sitting there asking you for the answer?
And you better have some patience.
4 brides standing there asking you 4 women sitting there asking you to figure this out. This one want to vent to you about her day. This one want to vent to you about her day. This one wants you to go discipline 3 kids. And you sitting there, and then you start yelling and saying, I'm just one man.
You gotta be able to handle that shit. Or I'm gonna be devil's advocate, but if you're on the one plane, and it's not a lifestyle I live, but I'm just thinking outside the box.
One queen is best, because that's all I can do.
Yeah, I mean, it's the same. But if you're in that situation and you all y'all on the same page and wavelength, things are flowing to where.
But you still gotta be more than average.
I get you. I'm just saying though. But the level of understanding in my mind thought that it takes to be in that type of situation with like-minded individuals, y'all all on this page and everything's flowing. So I think harmoniously, if things are flowing, you wouldn't be in a position where it is overwhelming because your honesty and openness with everybody would be able to have these conversations and avoid those things. Yeah, I think it's the failure to communicate or the misconception and ego that's, all of us have some form of ego, whether you obey it or not. Like Sprite tells you, obey your thirst. They telling you,
they got no ego. That's the ego. I'm
yeah,
so selfless.
yeah,
I have no ego.
you're right. I have an ego. I don't subscribe to a lot, but yeah, I'm humbly cocky than a motherfucker. Don't get me wrong. There's some shit I'm very humble about, but there's some shit that I be cocky than a motherfucker about.
And some shit you gonna be like, oh no, fuck that, mess me with that.
Yeah,
shit.
exactly. I feed both wolves. You know what I'm saying? I roll my boat gently down the stream, but life ain't but a dream. I don't fall for that shit. But I'm just saying, when you look at the shit and you, like I said, in my mind's eye, if I was in that, just seeing that type of situation in perfect harmony, I think that if you honest and have these conversations, y'all wouldn't be having those difficulties, because the point of doing this big thing, and I'm gonna call it a farm, just for layman's terms. Let's call it a farm. You know what I'm saying? We got carrots, we got cabbage, real cabbage. We ain't got no broccoli, because broccoli is a hybrid. And no corn, because corn, your body don't digest corn. But we got some beets, we got some watermelon, we definitely got some sea moss going, but we got some shit going that's universal to us. Everybody brings some shit to the table, and we all gonna eat, because it's like a potluck, but we all know who cooking in the kitchen, and we making sure ain't no animals in the kitchen, because you can't eat everybody's food.
Right.
That's just my thought of that process, what that would look like. Like I said, the misconception with a lot of people nowadays is they think, oh man, I get to have sex with hella women. And the dudes is like, what if, I seen a post where it was a woman and she had 2 boyfriends. And it's like, dudes, can your ego handle that, nigga?
Mine can't.
A lot of y'all niggas sharing y'all chick right now and don't even know it, but.
Damn.
Ooh.
Facts though.
That's real talk.
Facts though. Don't hurt him. Please, Hammer, don't hurt him.
Your chick got a work husband.
He's not just a friend. He's not her play brother. He's not like a cousin.
All I'm saying is, everybody see what you see when you see it. Oh yeah, but can your ego handle that?
Mine can't. I'll be straight up. Mine can't handle that.
No, hey, what Dirty Harry say? A man's got to know his limitations.
But the thing is, though, is that I've never seen in my personal life, like you said, everything in harmony. I've never seen one in harmony. Because most of the time what I see is, I've seen a couple. Let me take it back. I have seen a couple in harmony. But the majority that I've seen is the main woman goes along with it so she won't lose dudes. You know what I'm saying? That's what I've seen. That's what I've seen a lot of. So it's always some conflict and some drama because it's not, as you say, harmonious.
But that's the thing. If you're gonna do it, you gotta be harmonious. Like I know, I'll reach out to some people I know, because I want to have an in-depth show about this subject.
That would be nice, and with some actual participants in it. Yeah.
So we'll do that definitely next year. But one of the things I witnessed when I was younger was a gentleman who I grew up in the neighborhood and well respected him. He lived with 2 sisters, and they weren't sisters as in melanated. They were sisters. They were sisters though, and
like as in they share the same biology.
Yeah, and they were sisters. They were white though, and they were older than us, so it wasn't like we were young. Like, oh man, he probably in there. And don't be wrong, we was young. I'm like 15, 16, 20, 19, looking like wow. And part of me was like wow, but you never seen no bullshit, no nothing. His shit was in order. Now, what happened behind closed doors, we never seen. What happened behind closed doors?
Put together.
They lived in the same house, right next door to my cousin. So I watched it when I was like, wow, and it was like, wow. You know what I'm saying? You like, this nigga's Jack Tripper living with Chrissy and Janet.
Except unlike Jack.
You know, but,
Hey, what back Dre said, I drive it like living two bitches like Jack and driving Benz in the lap.
you know what I'm saying? So I watched it as a youngster, like, wow. You know, and the brother, hey, he used to sharpen our tools when we was youngsters.
Like
He used to give us the ism. I mean, hey, well-respected, well-educated brother. He used to tell us stuff like when we was young, because, you know, I'm out there on the block in the dubs doing what I used to do, just being a hard-headed individual. But, I mean, that's the life, you know, we lived at that time. But he used to tell us, he's like, man, y'all need to be doing this. He's like, man, learn different things. He said, learn how to fix a washing machine. He's like, there's only 7 things that go wrong in a washing machine. You learn those 7 things, you'll be employed forever. If you're gonna be, everybody takes a shit, so there's always be a need for a plumber. Everybody want to talk on the phone, so there's always be a need for somebody who know how to work on and fix phones. I'm just saying, these are the conversations we used to have.
That's why I'm opening up a funeral home next year.
Everybody die.
And everybody gonna need somebody to throw dirt on you or cremate you. And so it's recession proof.
Everybody takes a shit, so you either need to buy some stock in toilet paper or wet wipes.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, as a youngster, like you said, people you look up to, but these was the cat. But he owned houses, owned hella property,
Having it how he wanted it.
living, had a house and owned a house right across the street. That's just in that, and painted them the same color. Had a rose.
Yeah, living. That's what I'm talking about. I'm still trying
Had
to get a
properties
rose.
all over.
I'm actually, well, I ain't gonna get no rose, but I'm getting
rest
a Bentley
well.
next year.
You know what I'm saying? But this brother, like I said, I was a youngster looking up to this man, and because he was doing he handling business, like you said, handling business.
I'm getting that Bentley this year, but I mean this year when I say 2023, right? And I already know.
I don't want one.
I already know that financially, it's a completely ludicrous decision to get a Bentley, and the places I go and the things that I do
ain't Bentley worthy.
Exactly. So so you see that I'm aware of that. Like for instance, when I do go to the club, you know I went to the sports page not too long ago.
I saw your post and I was like,
but you know who was in there?
Huh?
You know, Vic was not to figure out. But you know, like as soon as I walk in the door, I hear Farrah, I look up, and Vic over there, right? So I said, oh, dog, you slumming too, right? So we was both in there slumming, right? But the thing is, so at the sports page, pulling up in the Bentley is like killing ants with a sledgehammer, right? It's completely not necessary, right?
It's ass backwards.
Or going to food court. So I already know that this is some ignorant nigga shit.
Right.
But I'm still finna do it anyway, cause
I understand. You gotta urge that. There's nothing wrong with wanting to have
I've been wanting a Bentley for hella long, and now I'm in position to get me a Bentley. My common sense is telling me, nigga, don't do it.
Right.
Nigga, you gonna go on Day Street. You gonna go on Day Street, the sports page in this Bentley.
Niggas gonna be like, I just follow this nigga. Where you gonna put it at? You put it at the house, but then niggas gonna follow you home.
But
you put it at a garage, to parking place where I'm just saying.
Right.
I mean,
it's a completely idiotic decision, but it's up there with like why do niggas climb mountains?
Adrenaline rush. I understand. Adrenaline. I'm an adrenaline junkie. You know me. I jump on roller coasters like a mother.
So if any of y'all watching,
airplanes.
if you see me in that, and when you see me in my Bentley, and you say, "The fuck, Pete? Though I thought he's financially more wiser than that." Just know that.
Yeah, this nigga moment.
Hey, I'm feeding both wolves.
You gotta feed both wolves.
The common sense P would be like, it's idiotic to drive a Bentley around East Oakland. But the ignorant nigga P is like, man, I'm gonna stun these niggas.
I'm gonna drive by the lake twice.
I'm gonna make these niggas sick. And so, hey.
Slapping some old school MCN.
Hey, y'all pray for me, man. Oh, shout out to MCN. Rest in peace, man. You know what I'm saying? Oh, Ant really died over some sucker shit, man. You know what I'm saying? Ant was a hell of a dude, nice guy, man. And a jealous ex-boyfriend ass nigga came in there because he couldn't In fact, Ant and the body moved to Reno to be have peace. So rest in peace to Ant, man. A great, talented brother. One thing I hate is that Ant came along in an era that there wasn't a lot of outlets.
Mm-hmm.
If a cat like Ant came along now with his hustle and his talent, with all these different ways to get on, he'd have been a rich man.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? He just came in the wrong era that he didn't get the proper opportunities. But there was a lot of talent. Cats like Ant, Dame,
Goldie,
MC Tracy, Goldie. There was a lot of talented cats. They just didn't get a chance. You know what I'm saying? The way shit was set up, they didn't get a chance to really blow. And shout out to you youngsters that's doing things now. Because remember, you got levels of opportunity the cats before you didn't have. So don't waste it. Don't half-ass it, man. Go get it, man.
Go get it.
Yeah. Go get it.
You know.
And rest in peace to MC Ant.
Rest in peace. You know, I really didn't. I ain't even gonna mention because it's Friday. Y'all gonna be out Sunday acting like y'all losing
Happy
y'all
Caesar
mind.
Borgia Day.
Yeah, happy Caesar Borgia Day. Y'all out there fucking worshiping shit. I seen a post from someone, and I wanna. This is a mental health note for y'all on a serious tip. I seen a post that someone posted, and this time of year, it's common to see these type of posts, or not even see these posts, because it takes a lot to even make this type of post. People talking about they feeling like failures because they can't provide, or they didn't give and couldn't give people what they know they or feel they worth. And these
you
type
put
of
red meat on the table every day.
I just want to say something to y'all.
Fucking
So I'm gonna be so honest, and I'm gonna be brutally honest with y'all. Stop letting these fake ass holidays, times a year, all this shit you've been programmed to believe in and trust in. Stop letting this shit dictate your emotions. And I'm not belittling your sensitivity when I say that. What I'm trying to do is encourage you to not allow.
Valentine's Day was created by Hallmark.
Thank you. Christmas, Christmas, Santa was created by Coca-Cola. Because Christmas,
Jolly old Saint Nick.
they presented the original image of Santa Claus, that y'all see today. Their colors red and white. So that's, like I said, know what y'all doing, man. But to this person who made this post, and I commented on their post and was like, man, don't do that.
Yeah.
I respect the fact that you put it
on. Feeling it.
You acknowledge, you put that out there, and I'm like, one, it was like, no, don't do that. Don't allow.
There ain't no failure for not being
not
able
a
to live up to
failure.
these artificial.
This consumer mentality, like Sprite says, obey your thirst. This shop, buy, obey shit. I tell you right now,
for your family all year, because
I ain't
you
bought
can't
nobody
go extravagant going to
Christmas present. Why? Because I don't celebrate Christmas.
I bought one.
I ain't bought shit, and
I'm
not. And I don't participate in that shit wholeheartedly. But y'all, mental health is real. Like we were saying, you got DJ Twitch, who's Ellen's DJ, just they allegedly took his own life last week. This time of year, people stop. I just pray y'all.
Yeah, check on your people.
Check on your peoples, and y'all stop letting society, lack of likes, lack of follows, other people's opinion.
I'm not making any progress.
Stop letting other people's opinion of your worth determine how you feel about yourself. Mental health is real. We really need to, because we bully people. I was a bully as a kid, because I bag. Don't get me wrong, I talk shit.
Oh, roast.
So
I roast.
I get it. I burn you, I flame your ass up.
I follow you home.
And will do today. I'm kind of, cognizant of how I do it, but it's joking if I know how to fuck with you. Yeah, it's all jokes for fun. But this time of year, it's two things I need to implore to y'all. One, do not let other people dictate how you feel. The second thing is, damn, what was the second thing? I had the second thing. The second thing, yeah, stop letting people tell you how to feel. The second thing is, you're alive. No matter whether it's, you may not be where you want to be, but any day above ground, you got breath in your lungs is a good day.
Facts.
And I made a post that said, if you don't get head on your birthday, your day was just regular. I don't give a fuck what you did.
It was just Tuesday.
your birthday was just regular. But no, seriously, y'all, please be kind. Oh, the other thing, this type of year, women in particular, out. Everybody, but women in particular, be mindful of your surroundings. It's dark early. You got predators out. You got dudes out doing all type of foul shit, trying to kidnap sisters, women, and all these things. Be mindful of your surroundings. Be mindful of the package delivery dude. Be mindful of everybody. You know what I'm saying? It sucks that we live in the times where we gotta be extra cautious like this, but I've been watching videos of the delivery dude delivering a package, and the person come open the door, and the guy act like he walking away, and next thing you know, a bunch of dudes come running into the house, and it's like, and of course, hey, everybody got Ring cameras nowadays, which is good. You got to be mindful. For crime to happen, there has to be opportunity.
Yes.
You know.
And please, don't nobody be silly. Why should I be able to live my life? Yeah, you should.
Yeah, you should.
But we don't live in an ideal world. We live in the real world.
We live in a world to where everybody don't have your best interests at heart.
Yes.
And you have to understand that. And I get it. And if you want to walk through life,
it could be people that you consider friends.
Rose-colored glasses.
Like that girl that went to Mexico.
Man.
You couldn't tell her the day before that them weren't her best friends for life.
Right.
You couldn't have told. In fact, if you'd have told her that these people mean you no good, you might have got slapped or insulted, you know.
Exactly.
Because these were her folks. But not only did these people help cover up her death, they even flew back home and sat there and told her mama some fairy tales.
Right. Because, hey, what did I say earlier? Betrayal never happens from a stranger.
You know how cold-hearted you got to be to sit up, to help, or to know what really happened to somebody and sit in front of their crying mama and say,
this is what happened.
What they told you, that's exactly what happened. In fact, I was there and I saw the whole thing.
Yeah.
And sit there and smile in the person's mama face, knowing that you know the real on behind what happened to their kid. Do you know you got to be damn near social?
Hey, right, Daryl, got that rear ringer. Fuck around and find out. Exactly. You come in, you know, yeah. I just seen videos where them fuck around and find out where they done tried to kick in doors.
Yeah.
And blue, 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 blue. Yeah, fuck around and find out. Y'all bet.
I remember I was visiting a young lady one time and the baby daddy showed up and he got to talking about it and she was like, you can't come in, and she was like, I fuck around and kick this door in. And that's when she opened up the door to me and I said, dog, you gotta be careful on what's on the other side of that door when you kicking them in. Oh, I don't mean no this, you know the tune, of course, changed, but it's nothing like when you watch those videos of people trying to run up in people's houses and this and that. Cause you gotta be a special type motherfucker to run up in niggas' houses.
Man.
And when you run up in motherfucker's house and motherfucker got something for you.
Yeah.
On one hand, I feel compassion that, okay, this is an individual that met an unfortunate demise, that's sorry. But on the other hand, you, like Daryl said, you fucked around and you found out. And as a real nigga, that's always funny when a motherfucker find out that the other person wasn't fucking around.
Yeah, because the thing is, you trying to push your ego, your weight on somebody. It's like, man, fuck that. If they ain't feeling you.
Because you know what the beast you gotta be to be like, oh, I see what you got. I'm gonna come take your shit. And expect to be no repercussions, none of that.
Wood bike, Debo, wood bike.
Yeah.
Nah, everybody ain't falling for that shit.
Yeah. In fact, if I was a niggas, we'd have been plugged Debo. It wouldn't even been no movie. It would have been when Debo took that nigga chain.
It would have been over on Wednesday. We would have made it to Friday.
When Debo took that nigga chain and his grandma gave him that chain, oh nigga, Debo, that's where y'all would have found Debo. I mean, I'm just saying, I'm about peace and love right now. But when I was in that era, that mind state, and a nigga like a Debo could have took my chain, that's where you'd have found Debo.
Friday would have been his funeral.
Hey, you'd have found where Debo got down at is where you'd have found Debo at. In fact, it wouldn't have been a comedy no more. It would have been a murder mystery. I know it was all for jokes and laughs. I'm just saying, a nigga like me, that chain. In fact, Debo couldn't have took my homie chain. Because Debo, he didn't have to do it to me. If Debo would have tried to take my homie chain, I'd have been, hey, Debo stalled my partner out. And that would have been the end of the conversation. Because he knew what time it was. But if he would have insisted upon his activities, the movie would have been over right then and there.
Fuck around and find out. Yeah. But what we got, we closing out 2022. Next week we got end of the year.
Yeah.
We having holiday function. I mean, excuse me. Let me clarify my shit, because what y'all consider the new year next week, New Year don't start till spring. You can't have
Right.
You can't have the new year in the middle of
winter.
death. In the middle. So next week is happy 11th day of winter.
Mm-hmm.
So you'll get that at
the winter solstice or whatever.
That was
but
yesterday.
The first day of spring is actually should be the first day of the year, because that's the
new
rebirth.
Rebirth. But y'all continue to follow these traditions, and that you allow yourselves to follow.
When we trained up a certain way, in fact, when we get trained a certain way, we be damn near resistant to anything to say something different.
You raised in ignorance. A truth teller is the devil to you.
Yeah.
A motherfucker who speak the ism, like the black sheep of the family, is usually the smartest motherfucker.
Mm-hmm.
And I ain't talking about just the weird people in the family. I mean the real black sheep. The people who be like, fuck that. No, that's your daddy too.
Mm-hmm.
The real black sheep of the family. But hey, anyway.
In my adopted family, I had the big sister, and she was so significantly older that she was already grown and out the house by the time us younger ones came in and stuff. And all my life, I always heard how she was crazy. Don't got no sense, this and that, right?
Ended up being a truth seeker.
But then when I got to a certain age, and I got to get to know her a little bit better, and found out that it was niggas who barely had high school diplomas, and they only had high school diplomas because in their area you didn't have no exit exams and things like that. So if you showed up more than you didn't, and you didn't have any
expels.
Yeah, exactly. Then you would pretty much
you were good.
You would get a diploma.
Yeah.
But niggas' critical thinking skills, none of that shit was on any level to say that they had any education.
Right.
Well, there was niggas like that telling me that she was crazy, and then I get grown and find out that
she know all the shit.
That she had 2 master's degrees, a PhD. But not only that, but she was her knowledge was so vast that to these niggas, she was crazy.
Because a nigga who grew up on finger paints, you can't teach these niggas Van Gogh.
No, you can't. And I found that out in my own family, that that her wisdom was so vast, and her worldly knowledge, like they had only been to LA. She had been to Paris. They would speak on things, and sometimes she wouldn't speak on things because she would be like, I don't have the knowledge to speak on that, but I'm going to research it, and then I'll let you know what I think. She would think before she spoke, whereas the other niggas be, man, let me, and the thing is, I say all that to say is that sometimes we have people who will tell us that the truth teller is in the wrong, but they're working from such a limited knowledge base that they don't know if the truth teller is right or wrong. They just know it's different than what they've been learned. So it's no.
Right. Because I remember, it's just like with palate. And I'm going to use alcohol as a reference because that's something that we can most likely all... what's up, Duck? Little bruh. That's something we can all relate to. When we were super young and not knowledgeable, motherfuckers would drink Jose Cuervo tequila and think it was the shit.
Man, proud of themselves too.
You might as well let
And
a
what's
deer.
that bumpy face shit and all that type of
Yeah.
shit. Think about the shit we used to drink back in the days that we
Shit,
wouldn't.
I wouldn't.
You can't even put that shit on the table now.
I would kick you out my function. You bring some of this shit. But when we was youngsters, not knowing,
Yeah, that was
not
big time.
worldly, it was the shit.
Now you might say, "Oh, blood, go put that in the car. Go put that back in the car. We don't.
Like, we don't do,
We
hey,
good. We
hey,
good.
remember on Black Panther? He
Yeah.
said, "We don't do that over here."
Yeah.
Yeah, that's, you know what I'm saying? We don't do that over here. You know, but hey, knowledge is power. They're the motherfucker. But for y'all, that's next week's show. We got a lot of shit going on. 2023, we trying to do some more big shit. Grow some more. I appreciate everybody tuning in as always. Y'all that comment, y'all that don't comment, I appreciate y'all. Y'all that share, like the page. Also, make sure y'all tune into the YouTube. You know, like and subscribe there also, because you know we put the episodes on YouTube as well. We're gonna try to do.
And please share.
Yeah, please share, like and share, subscribe. You know what I'm saying?
Friend.
Tell a friend. Yeah, tell a friend like Alpha Beta, nigga. Tell a
I
friend.
don't remember Alpha Beta.
Y'all don't know about that shit. That's old school.
I don't remember Alpha Beta.
Alpha Beta, motherfucker. Tell a friend. Yeah, for real though. You know what I'm saying? Share the shit, man. We just trying to grow. You know what I'm saying? We ain't gonna get too cocky on nobody. We'll never think we too big for nothing. Cause we just two brothers that like to share knowledge and
And kick a little game, that's all.
you know what I'm
Ain't trying to
saying?
hurt nobody. Just kicking game,
It's
man.
like Pac-Man, man. We like to just go to the level and go to the next level. You know what I'm saying?
It
Clear
ain't
the
even
board.
necessarily a higher level, just a different level.
Yeah,
man.
we
It ain't
just clear the
necessarily
board and
bad.
go to another level. That's all we trying to do.
Just trying to see what the world got. Just two young players mashing for their rations.
You know what I'm saying? In between, while we get in
They
between,
come mash with us every now and then. You know what I'm saying? Come on down, man.
fuck with us. Cause we fuck wittable. Hospitable. But as always, I want to thank everybody for tuning in.
Yeah.
Pete, tell everybody where they can find you, sir.
Hey, you can find me across the board at Feral Films. I'm talking about TikTok, Instagram, all that good shit, man. Shout out to my boy Flodge. He couldn't be with us. He has some obligations.
Lodge
but,
out
you
with
know,
the family.
but
Doing
be on the
thing.
lookout. A lot of the movies and stuff that we've been working on, there was a little bit of delays,
Yeah.
but they're gonna start dropping in the next few months. Vampire in Oakland's gonna drop in March. Aliens in the Hood's gonna drop in April.
There you
We're
go.
working on the current film, The Black Superhero. I don't have a release date or nothing on that, but it's gonna be big. That's also gonna be followed with a book as well. So that's gonna be a book and a movie.
Oh, we back on that.
Yeah, we're
can
gonna do the
move.
book thing.
Then
Because Vampire in
storytelling.
Oakland book was the number one
Yeah,
on
the
Amazon
number
and Amazon and urban horror and in urban vampire. So and it was top 10 overall in vampire fiction. So when I tell people I was number one in the world, niggas be thinking I'm capping. I'm like, no, actually I was number one in the world. You know, so if you're number one on Amazon, they try to tell you New York Times bestseller list, but New York Best Times sellers list you can actually buy your way on.
Yeah.
Amazon,
Is that like buying your way into being a movie?
basically. Yeah.
To be on the set?
Yeah, you can pay to play.
Yeah,
Pay
that's
to play.
it. Yeah, we'll
But
do that.
Amazon is basically
We'll do that.
whoever sells. Hey, yeah, we don't do that around
We'll
here.
do that around here.
But Amazon is based strictly on
know that.
sales. Either you sold the most,
I peeped that
Oh, you did?
chat. I was there.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
but did you catch my fundamental thing?
Yeah, I got it.
Because I know a girl very well. She came down to the studio in San Leandro. Did some
Yeah, the
damage.
green screen,
In
broke the green
fact,
screen.
in fact,
that's all
I'm
studio.
not even actually the one.
I started to
told her-
comment on the. I started to comment.
I
in
told
there.
her that I would hold the check.
I started to comment in that chat.
I told her that I would hold the
Yes.
check, and I handed it to Rock.
I started to
And
comment.
Rock literally went to the back, like while we were still talking. And so she called me the next day howling because her account was overdrawn. This
Oh,
and that,
well.
right? But the bottom line though is that.
Business is business.
But did you keep that line when I said where's that there's not a single one of us black directors.
Yeah, you named all of them. I know. I
And
picked
just
it.
think, if any one of us said
said-
to anybody in this
Pay
chat,
to audition, pay to get in. They laugh at something. They
that would
wouldn't
been
fuck with us.
insulted.
Exactly.
This white lady
and
was saying this, and it
Yeah.
was being presented as an
Yeah.
opportunity.
Bruh, I didn't comment. I didn't comment in the group chat on that because I started to, and I was like, I'm gonna be quiet. Cause
The white lady with no resume
Yeah.
is telling you pay to play, and you accepted that as an opportunity. And if us said to you to pay to play,
niggas
you'd
will
be
be like,
insulted.
you niggas what?
Man, we'll get slandered.
Right.
But we know better. We know better to even have the audacity to even try some shit like that.
Exactly.
We know better.
We don't do shit like that.
Yeah.
Hey, for real though, everybody take care of yourselves and your family. I wish you all nothing but peace and blessings and prosperity in the middle of winter. Coming up next week.
Happy New Year.
Yeah.
Say.
Happy middle of winter.
And y'all don't go in there and have no meltdowns on Sunday because you didn't get this present, or y'all sitting there and whatever sibling
getting
rivalry
shit from
or something, y'all end up
Nobody. I ain't
pulling
bought
knives
shit.
on each other or whatever, man. Y'all don't get to acting a fool
I ain't
over this
bought
artificial
shit.
ass
Ain't buying
holiday.
shit. Nobody's getting shit.
But I'm just saying, don't
I don't
get in
celebrate
there
the shit,
and don't
so.
wreck your emotions and your psyche. And I want my kids to have a good Christmas, so you didn't even pay your fucking rent.
Man.
You know, like, come on, man. Don't put yourself.
This shit is
I grew up in
designed-
families where niggas went out stupid over this shit.
Yeah.
Didn't pay
trust me.
rent.
And the thing is,
Willie
we talked about
Earl
last
from
week.
down the street is suddenly over to the house for breakfast.
Like we talked last week, y'all had a Christmas. Get them kids a Christmas. Fuck that.
I seen people
we will
go
not
out sad over
perpetuate
Christmas,
lies.
and I'm not
And yes,
doing that
I've
shit.
experienced some of the rawest Christmases ever.
Mhm.
I can say 20 plus presents received on my end. Just big shit. It was to the point to where everybody's presents was wrapped in individual wrapping paper. So that's how you knew whose shit was whose. You was told, and this was at certain houses.
This paper is your paper.
Yeah,
So you see
anything with this paper is your shit. Anything with this color paper is your shit. This design is your shit. So I've had these extravagant Christmases as a kid.
Yeah.
I get it, but the thing is, I know better now, and I can't do no lie shit.
I'm not going out like that.
Hey, I'm not knocking y'all for doing it, but I'm knocking y'all for allowing yourselves to be a slave.
Because when you gonna break the cycle?
Please do. You can't get ahead if you continue to be an ass. Now it's time to say goodbye to all my Negro friends. Stop lying to yourself.